Although the Princess of Wales answered many questions the world had over the past few weeks about her health and her well-being, today's announcement that she's been diagnosed with cancer has us taking a closer look at undergoing chemotherapy after surgery. So, joining us on Zoom today is Dr. Mark Lewis. He's the Director of Gastrointestinal Oncology at Intermountain Healthcare. Doctor, you're the guy we need to talk to about this. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much. Obviously concerned to hear about the princess's health, but happy to answer questions from what we know so far.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity here. So Princess Kate says the cancer was found during abdominal surgery. She had that back in January. What does that tell you about her situation? Is that a common way that you find cancer in patients?
Yes, sir, it is. And I think part of the reason for the gap in time here, after initial assurances from Kensington Palace that this was a non-cancerous condition, once tissue is removed during surgery, there's a period, sometimes days, sometimes weeks, of analyzing that underneath the microscope to see if indeed cancer is or was present. And I would infer that is what happened in Kate Middleton's case. And moving on from that, once cancer is diagnosed, we sometimes offer a treatment like chemotherapy after the fact to prevent the cancer from coming back. And those are the pieces that I'm putting together. Again, as an oncologist who sees this a lot in my own practice, that's what I think is happening in Princess Kate. But of course, this is all quite speculative.
Sure. Well, she mentioned in her video this was a preventative round of chemotherapy, so that would support what you just said. Important to note here, cancer is not necessarily age-related, correct?
That's exactly right. And again, I treat cancers of the gut. We don't know, actually, this was an abdominal surgery. We don't know if Kate Middleton's cancer started in her gut and, say, her colon. If it did, though, it's actually very common that after we remove the colon cancer with surgery, in the months thereafter, that we would offer, as you called it, a preventative chemotherapy. That surprises some people. Some people think we only give chemotherapy when the cancer is still a mass inside the body. In fact, we often give chemotherapy in this fashion to prevent microscopic cells from growing back and causing what we call recurrence in the future.
Okay, see, this is interesting. I had no idea, so you just filled in a blank there for me. Now, we don't know this was GI cancer specifically, but let's talk about that subject because this is becoming increasingly common in younger patients now, isn't it?
Yes, sir. In fact, the other celebrity that I think has come to many people's minds today is Chadwick Boseman, who died tragically of a young onset colon cancer. So funnily enough, in terms of timing, this is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. And again, I have to show my bias. This is the cancer type I predominantly treat. 1 in 7 of my patients with colon cancer is under the age of 50. So if indeed Kate Middleton, like Chadwick Boseman, has colon cancer, she is part of the new face of this disease where it is not exclusively found in older adults.
Well, that begs the question. I know the guidance used to be get your colonoscopies at age 50. That guidance has been lowered now, right, to a younger age.
Yes, sir, that's exactly right. In the last several years, and of course, long before today's announcement, one of the mottos has been 45 is the new 50. Not everybody has to do colonoscopy when they turn 45, but we recommend some form of screening. Again, I know this is personal. People don't really like to talk about it. Colonoscopy is a direct examination of the colon, but we can also test stool at home privately to see if there's evidence of precancerous DNA or blood that might suggest that a person at 45 is actually already experiencing either early signs or precancerous signs that would lead then to colon cancer.
Okay, so talk to your doctor and find out what you need to do. That's the first bit of advice here. Another question, back to Kate. In her video today, she looked great, as she always does, and I think that suggests that you can't always tell someone is going through chemotherapy just by looking at them, right?
That's my other message. In fact, I often tell my patients this as we're embarking on chemotherapy. You know, it's really a myth, a pervasive myth that you can look at somebody, and Kate Middleton is now the perfect example, and know A, that they have cancer, and or B, that they're on chemotherapy. Not all chemotherapy causes hair loss or visible side effects. And I agree with you. When I looked at the video, I thought, wow, she really looks fantastic. She's often been thin, and there's been lots of speculations about her weight. But that aside, I don't think you can tell. I can't tell as an oncologist, even looking back over the last several months, that she's been dealing with cancer or is now on treatment.
Yeah, well, we wish her the best. We do wish her the best. And our thank you to Dr. Mark Lewis from Intermountain Health in that interview we did earlier today.